Welcome back to Cosmoholics Anonymous. I am your favorite mother of three, bougie vintage, and today's video is love during lockup recaps. So obviously I'm a little behind because I haven't seen y'all in 5 ever. So we are going to recap the first 4 episodes really quickly, which is just kind of like an introduction to the characters or the people that are on the show, the cast. And I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on each of the couples. And I mainly wanted to just highlight all of the red flags that I have seen on the show since I started watching. I have not seen the other seasons of the show. This is my first time tuned in. Shout out to all the Discord girlies because they have put me onto the show. So let's get right on into this video. So the first couple I want to introduce you guys to is Teenie and Rob. Teenie is 33, Rob is 34. They actually were dating originally in high school and it was really brief, and then they lost contact and it was his birthday and she DM'd him one year and that's how they began talking again. A little background about Teenie is that, first of all, I think she's absolutely gorgeous, which, because she's gorgeous, I'm a little saddened by this entire situation, but that's neither here nor there. It's none of my damn business, okay? She has 2 children. They're like teen and preteen. She has a boy and a girl. Her daughter is the oldest child, and her son is the youngest, obviously. I believe she said that her daughter's father passed away when she was 2 years old, or 1, very early on in her child's life. And then her second baby daddy, he is just kind of MIA. Her and Rob, I actually missed how long they have been together for, but they are actually married. So they're not engaged, they're not just boyfriend and girlfriend, they are married on the show. And just to give you a visual, this is Teenie, very cute. She kind of gives me Malaysia vibes. If you watch Basketball Wives, she gives me a little bit of Malaysia. I think she's just really super cute. And then this is Rob. Now, I was kind of shocked to find out that Rob and Teenie were only 33 and 34, because to me Teenie gives older, but maybe it's because she has an older child. I'm not really sure. Like, I'm not saying that she looks older, but I just felt like she was closer to 40 than being 33, because I just turned 32 and I just don't feel like she looks my age. Or maybe I'm delusional. Okay, that's neither here nor there. But Rob is 34 and he's definitely giving 45. I'm not gonna hold you. The second that we were introduced to Rob, I was like, he's been in jail too long. He's definitely giving, he plays for both teams, or he's DL. Like, I was like, oh, you know, when I first heard him talk, and it kind of took me by surprise, because and I thought, okay, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm just assuming because he's been in jail that long that he's had a significant other in jail, you know? That was my first red flag with this couple, that the guy seemed like he's either had his booty cheeks cracked or he cracked some booty cheeks up in jail. And I was just like, But that wasn't the only red flag. I noticed that when Rob spoke, he felt like he was somebody, okay? And I'm sat there thinking, like, sir, you were in jail. you were in jail, sir. And so he was pretty much trying to explain to us at home that because he's been in there so long, they felt like, and they being the people that are running the prison, that he needed a phone because he's somebody. Those are literally his words. And I was just like, somebody like who, Jay? And so pretty much he is feeling some kind of superiority in jail. Now I understand that, or prison, and I understand that that is a lot of the time how prison works. It's like a ranking system, you know. There are people that run the jail or that run the pod, and then so on and so forth, and people have to, like, the other inmates answer to them. They may have a job at the jail, they might be cooking, or they might just have a great relationship with the wardens. And the COs pretty much have some pull, you know, they're getting good. And so I guess that's where he is at, but he was making it seem like he's like that guy. Okay, he is that guy. Okay, so that's how he was making it seem. And so that was a red flag for me. The next red flag for me was the fact that he has cameras set up all through Teenie's house. He don't pay nan bill in that house. He don't even live there. But he has cameras set up and he is forever monitoring the cameras. I said, this man is crazy. Not only is he crazy, he is controlling. And this is a huge red flag that I feel like Teenie is ignoring. Because if a man wants to watch you that often, baby, what do you think he's going to do if you were to ever leave him? Granted, they're married and she's obviously in this for the long haul. I mean, if you are holding down a man that's doing a 16-year prison sentence, girl, baby, you better than me, child. But like I said, neither here nor there. The reason that he's actually in prison is for armed robbery. Now, this is another red flag because this means that he is violent in nature. Now, granted, he went in when he was 18, and I'm sure he's learned a lot while he's been in there, but it's so hard to rehabilitate convicts, enough as it is. And so, for somebody that went in for armed robbery, despite the fact that he had no priors, the fact that he went in for a violent crime and then he has a monitoring demon, the fact that he wants to stalk her in her own home is crazy. Now, Teenie said she didn't really mind the camera situation because her children's rooms do not have the cameras in them. Neither does her bathroom. But to me, that's beyond the point. The fact of the matter is that any given point of the day, he just pops up on the speaker like, hey, what you doing? Or telling the kids don't eat on the sofa or whatever her rules are in the house, you know. And so I was sat there trying to put myself into Teenie's shoes, and I'm like, can y'all picture me with my 3 kids dating some inmate and like bringing my kids on the prison visits? And I'm looking at the situation, I'm like, in no world can I imagine myself at my big age trying to normalize that situation for my children, you know. But it's like, to each their own, you know. Despite all of these things, one of the other red flags that I noticed in this relationship was the fact that triangulation had already begun between his mother and Teenie. The mother and the wife have not spoken in 4 years, and the reason that they have not spoken in the 4 years is because Rob had Teenie send his mom money.
Okay, here's a station check for you.
No, girl. That's my jam, girl. Rob had Teenie send his mom money. She never disclosed how much money he had her send. Obviously, it was a good enough amount of money for the mom to hold a grudge. So he had Teenie send mama money, and then decided, never mind, scratch that, want my money back, and made Teenie tell the mom to send the money back. And ever since then, the mom and Teenie have had beef. A lot of the time you will see this in toxic relationships, like if the parent and the child have a toxic relationship, you will see triangulation happen between the mother and the wife or girlfriend. And so that's pretty much what's happened in this situation, because Rob never told his mom why Teenie needed to ask for the money back, or that he told Teenie to ask for the money back. You know what I mean? He never told her or disclosed to her why. Now, I don't know why Teenie didn't say, hey, Rob told me to ask you for the money back, but to me, this was just a really big miscommunication. And so it's been beef since then. Now, Rob and his mom don't have the greatest relationship either. Apparently, a lot of the times they're beefing themselves. So it's not far-fetched that the mother would also be beefing with the wife, because she beefing with her own son, child, and her son beefing with her. And so when the dynamic is toxic with mama and son, you already know. You are not supposed to take your canoe into those muddy waters, but she's in it for the long haul, like I said. Now, I can see the concern for Teenie's daughter written all over Teenie's daughter's face. Okay, I forgot what her name is. She reminds me of Victoria Monet. So bad. I feel so bad for Teenie's daughter because, one, her mom has normalized this, which is a red flag in itself. And then, two, she's voicing her opinions, but I think that she is trying to not hurt her mother's feelings by not fully disclosing how she truly feels, because you could see that she's not really wanting her daddy to come home, right? Because her kids do refer to him as daddy because he's been in their life that long. They're not looking forward to him coming home. The son is a little bit more open to it because obviously when she started dating him, or, you know, started bringing her kids to the prison visits, he was much younger, and so, you know, they just got accustomed to calling him dad. But as far as having a teenage daughter and then moving an inmate into your home, like, this is just red flags all over, because, like, I could never. I just could never. Like, nail me up. I couldn't even imagine. I couldn't imagine moving a regular person into my home, much less a freaking convict. Like, for an armed robbery convict at that. Like, no. These are just bad moves in general. It's one thing if you are single and you want to date somebody that's locked up and you ain't got no kids that don't belong to the person that's in jail at that. Like, it's not like these are his kids, okay? Like, these are not his kids. These are somebody else's kids. And, like, you never really know somebody's true intention, because she had those kids before she linked back up with him. So my whole thing is, like, somebody that's incarcerated or even just online dating period can target a single mother because they want access to the children for their own sick, twisted, whatever. And I'm not saying that this is Rob. I'm just saying, as a mom, you need to be extra cautious with who you're bringing home. And that's on period. It don't matter if they're incarcerated or not, baby. Just anybody in general. You need to be very careful on who you're bringing around your damn kids now, okay? And she did petition for Rob to get a lesser sentence or to come out of jail earlier, because she said he had no priors and he pretty much went in at 18 and has been in there ever since. And so, you know, he's supposed to come home soon. But then here's the other red flag. The other red flag with that is that he could have been out of jail, or he was supposed to come out of jail in, like, I think it was like 2 weeks time or something like that. It was really soon, right? But he decided, without her, by the way, that he was going to stay in prison for another 2 months to finish out his full sentence, so that he wouldn't have to do parole, or so he wouldn't have to, like, report to a parole or probation officer once he got out, because he wants to, like, travel and stuff and be just completely free, which is some BS. I said, this man got a man in the damn jail, because who doesn't want to come out of jail? Who would sit inside jail? Baby, let me out. Probate. I will report to the probation officer. Don't keep me in there. Are you kidding me? No, ma'am. No, sir. No, thank you. So that is definitely a red flag, that he, one, made that decision without her, never consulted her about it, and then just randomly ends up telling her that he's going to do extra time when she thought he was about to come home. No, he don't really want to come home. He want to stay in there. Listen, in situations like this, he finna come out, see what it's like to live with other people, and, you know, with his controlling ways, which he's already displaying with the camera peeping and all this, and, like, he thinks he's like some kind of drill sergeant, because that's the attitude that he's adopted while being in jail. They're under ruling, right? He doesn't have any freedom, despite the fact that he has a phone. He's still confined to a jail cell, right, or a prison cell. So he doesn't have any freedom, and he is constantly told what to do. So it makes him feel empowered to be able to tell Teeny, you need to do this, you need to do that, let me put cameras in your house. And she's just like, okay daddy, baby daddy, this, and they have no kids together, but she does call him baby daddy. And so I'm assuming that she's gonna give him a child when he come out. I don't think he has any kids of his own, because, like I said, he went in at 18. I don't know if he had a child. They've not mentioned that yet on the show. Now, this relationship is just red flags all over. Now, when he told her she has to go see his mom, to go have a conversation with his mom, she was pissed off, because she's like, excuse me, why do I need to go see her? It's your fault why we're not even talking, because of the money situation. And so he was telling her, like, oh, he didn't think it was necessary to tell her that. No, you purposely did that for power and damn control. You didn't explain to your mom that you told Teeny to ask for the money back. That being said, he said he would correct that and tell the mom, but I guess he didn't get to, because when Teeny went to go meet up with the mom had an attitude and Teeny had an attitude, and it was disrespectful at the gate, to the point where Teeny was like, let's just fight. No, she didn't say let's just fight, but she was just like, I'm not doing this, cut the cameras. Dead ass. She's like, cut the cameras, let's cut. And she was getting ready to leave, and then the mom pretty much begs her to sit back down, and I was like, oh, so you want your 15 minutes. So the mom acted well behaved and was like, let's have a conversation so I can understand what is really the issue here. And so Teeny does end up sitting back down to have the conversation with the mom, but the mom was talking out of the side of her neck and talking about how his ex was better and this and that and the third. And like, Teeny is better than me, baby, because I would have been out. Okay, they would, when I said cut the first time, baby, I would have left, but she sat back down, like I said. So when this happened, and Mama was disrespectful, they pretty much kind of hashed it out. And then in confessional, the mom was like, I might like her, undecided kind of vibe. Like, she's like, just maybe, you know, maybe she's not so bad after all, kind of thing. It's very much shady boots. It's going to take some time for them to warm back up after 4 years of beefing, but it was not a happy conversation for Teeny. And so when she went back home, she decided she was going to be a rebel. And when she did this, I was like, you gonna pay for that later, for sure. If I'm getting the right vibes, well, technically they're the wrong vibes, but if my discernment is correct about Rob, oh baby, if she thinks she's gonna get away with what she did when she got back home, she has another thing coming, because she's playing a very dangerous game with this man. So when she got back home, plugged out the cameras because she was pissed off about how the conversation went with his mother. And I was like, not a good idea. Not a good idea. And so literally, like, the minute that the feeds cut off for him, he calls her. And I'm just like, girl, you wanted attention because you knew he was going to call right away because he's a stalker. So he calls and he asked her, like, are you going to call the internet provider and find out why I'm not able to see the cameras? And to me, like, I get he's in jail, and yeah, he probably has nothing better to do with his freaking time, but to sit there the whole damn day and watch them damn feeds like his big brother is insane. If I was the little girl and the little boy, I wouldn't come out of my bedroom. If I know that that's the only place in the house that doesn't have cameras and this man's not watching me, I'm not coming out of my bedroom. Like, no. And that's why I feel so bad for the daughter, because she was like, she's interested to see like how he's gonna discipline them when he comes home. And I'm just thinking, like, could no stepdaddy in the world, especially not one that's been in jail, he don't even know how to discipline him damn self, otherwise he wouldn't be in jail. Clock the T, okay? Like, he wouldn't be in jail. So, prison, sorry. So, I'm just like, yeah, you couldn't discipline me if you were my stepdaddy. At all. Okay? But hell, child, my daddy couldn't even really discipline me, and he was my real daddy. So, like, I don't know about, him coming out and trying to discipline them. The daughter's gonna give him a warm time, and that's really not gonna go over well. And I'm hoping and praying that Teeny has a little bit more sense than Ayana. We'll talk about Ayana soon, baby. Okay, because priorities. Okay, we don't want to be putting men before the children ever. Okay, like, Teeny needs to be able to leave this man if she needs to, because he's either doing too much where the kids are concerned or just doing too much in general, you know. So I'm interested to see how that's gonna play out, if it plays out on the show, since he's doing the extra time in jail, like, you know, how it's gonna that dynamic's gonna play out. But I really do feel for the daughter and the son. And lastly, when you're dating somebody that's in prison, you have an obligation to, well, sorry, no, you don't have an obligation, but the prisoner makes you feel like you have an obligation to put money on their books. Otherwise, you're of no use to them, right? Because, like, why are you talking to me all the time, and you're on the outside making money, and you're not sending me no money? Which brings me to my next concern, red flag, is that in the conversation with the mama, Teeny finds out that Rob's been giving his mom an allowance every, I think, month or week. And I'm sat there like, okay, does Rob have a good paying job while he's in lockup? Or is he taking the money that Teeny puts on his books and giving it to his mom? Because that's insane and not okay. The fact that Teeny has to put money on this man's books when she has 2 children to provide for, and like, this is why I say priorities, because I'm not putting money on nobody's books just because they damn in prison, baby. Like, I didn't put you in there. I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, this is the thing. Unless Rob was her man outside of jail and was providing for her, and he built a life for them and blah, 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 and then she returns the favor for him and puts money on his books and because he took care of her while he was out. That's a completely different story, but they were not a couple. Okay, so she really doesn't owe him this, but she decided she's gonna marry this man while he was incarcerated, or while he's been incarcerated, and now she has an obligation to take care of him while he's in there. But like, she had no idea that he was giving his mom an allowance. How are you giving your mom an allowance? You should be giving me an allowance. But what it's giving is the money's coming from her and then getting recycled to the mama, and she didn't know nothing about it. So I would be pissed too if I found out that I'm putting money on your books and you're just sending it out, so you don't need me to put money on your books. You're using me. Like, huh? Very confused. And then Teeny's job title on the screen says stay-at-home mom. I said, hey, what? She gives me entrepreneur vibes, and her weave is immaculate. I'm like, her hair looks great, but it just says she's a stay-at-home mom, which I don't get, because neither one of her kids require her to stay home. They are both very old and are in school all day. So I don't understand what kind of stay-at-home mom job that is. She's not taking care of no toddlers. So I'm like, where's the money coming from on both sides? Where is Teeny's money coming from, and where is Rob's money coming from? So I'm a little confused by that. So if you guys know what Teeny does, please leave it in the comment section below. And if you know if Rob has a job, Rob got a job, then leave it in the comment section below as well. That being said, the red flags here from top to bottom is that the power and control dynamic is very unsettling, and I personally am watching this clutching my pearls. So let's move on to the next couple. Now, this next couple, Andrew and damn Candace, okay? I have so many red flags for these two. So this is my homie Andrew, okay? And this is Candace. And when I saw Candace's mugshot initially, I'm like, it's giving meth addict. I don't even know. She just looked problematic. Andrew described himself as a hopeless romantic, which I can totally see. He kind of give me Taurus vibes, like Taurus male vibes, but like minus the abusive side. They've been together for about a year now. Candace is locked up for burglary, which is the first red flag. What we see here is that Candace is a taker, right? Burglary, taker. And then what we know about the man, Andrew, who's giving Taurus vibes, is that he is a giver, which makes him susceptible to being a simp or used and abused by certain kinds of women. Andrew definitely gives that he's a sweetheart. He gives that he will be walked, trampled, ran over by any, vicious woman that comes and is attracted to maybe his light, or the type of provider that he is, because he is most definitely a provider. Okay, when I say he's a provider, baby, I need to get me one of them. Okay, he is a provider. Okay, like, he is providing, and we're gonna talk about that in a second. Okay, but he very much is giving sugar daddy, and he's young, so he really shouldn't be. Now, they met on the inmate prison dating website thing, and so she had a profile on there, and I guess he reached out to her because he had a coworker at work that was suggesting to him that he should get on there to find somebody. Now, he's been married twice and divorced twice, and he said the last woman that he was with pretty much used him for money, but he does not think that Candace is using him for money. And I was like, sir, you are delusional. Now, one of the red flags that I saw in Candace right away was something that she said, I guess to the producers, which was that he was such a genuine, pure soul that, and I quote, "I don't want anyone else to have you. I want you." The words that she used there really were a red flag for me, because though she might like him, I think that she really is more interested in what supply he can offer her, what he can do for her financially, especially because a lot of the time these people that are locked up are on survival mode. Like, they're in there because of survival mode, and when they're in there, they're still operating in survival mode, and when they come out, they're still going to be operating in survival mode. It's a hard mode to switch off. Okay, you cannot factory reset that one. So like I said, she's in there for burglary, and now she's found somebody that she can latch on to that is going to provide for her the life of her dreams. You know, I mean, he's not balling outrageous, but he's making a lot more money than the average American. Candace is paroling out of jail. And so when she paroles out, she has to go to like this place. I guess it's kind of like a halfway house. And she's supposed to be there for 2 weeks until the apartment that he's supposed to get her gets approved. Andrew is a homeowner. He owns his house. He has a car. You know, he has a great job. And he's living pretty much a bachelor life outside of the fact that his lady is, you know, in prison. He knew that since she was coming home, he needs to get his affairs in order. And so he decided he was going to go to a financial advisor. Baby, who told him to do that? Baby, who told him to do that? So he goes to see the financial advisor and she's like, you want to be broke? Because when she does the budget for him, he's making $6,800 a month, but he's spending like $6,280 a month between his house or his place in where he live again, child? He lives in that state and he's paying for his mortgage there and his car there, and he has child support payments to make every month because he has a son. And then he has his like food and, you know, adulting, right? He has his adult life to pay for. Okay, fine. Well, when she gets out of prison, she not coming. Oh, New Jersey, Jersey. He's from Jersey. Okay, so when she gets out of prison, she's not coming to Jersey. Okay, she is gonna be in Las Vegas, Nevada. So there's an issue there because those states are very far apart. He took it upon himself to get her an apartment, get her a truck, pay all of her living expenses, got her new bag, new phone, new everything, everybody, okay? So just knew everything, okay? He got her all these things, prepared her, like when she comes out of jail, she's set, okay? Like she's Gucci. And I'm looking like, sir, you're doing too much too quickly. A year? Oh, baby, she hit the jackpot with him. I wouldn't let him go neither, baby. You want an apartment, a car, you're paying the rent every month. The rent is more than his mortgage. Huh? So all her food and whatever luxury she needs, he doesn't even have wiggle room. So the financial advisor is like, Chad, you need to sit down somewhere. So then he's like asking the financial advisor, so should I take out another credit card? She's like, do you want to be broke? And he's like, no, I don't want to be broke. And she's like, not even for love? He's like, not even for love. But then when he gets in the car, child, he talking about he's willing to go broke for her because he has a 401k. And he be dipping into the 401k to support this lifestyle. And I'm just like, sir, you don't see anything wrong? Didn't you say that the last lady was using you for money? Red flag. Like, he's a red flag and she's a red flag. Because she's a red flag because she's clearly using him. There's codependency here. First of all the relationships are embedded with codependency. So that's a given, right? Imagine coming out of prison after doing your little sentence. Somebody just gives you everything. You didn't have to earn anything. I mean, what would you do? You would take advantage of the situation because you were raised on survival and you've been having to survive this whole time. So like, that's just what the normal is. What I find consistent between all of the people that are dating the inmates is that they are bad decision makers, like bad decision after bad decision. And a lot of it is because they are all like missing something internally. They're all feeling like these weird voids. And I'm just like, y'all need to go to therapy, because if y'all went to damn therapy, you wouldn't be dating no damn inmate, okay? And not to say the inmates don't need love too. That's not what I'm saying, okay? Whether behind prison walls or outside of the prison walls, you know? What I'm saying is these people that seem to have their lives together but are so desperate for love end up dating these people that end up sucking them dry, you know? Because I can see it in Teeny, that she just has a big heart. I can see it in Andrew also, that he has a big heart. I think it takes an empath really to date somebody like this and not realize that they're going to be sucked dry. Because it's just like with Teeny having to deal with the guy's mom. Why? Trying to put out little fires that he causes. Like, why? Like, your energy is being sucked from you. You're not even clocking it, right? But it's because you want to be in love. So, you know, I feel like watching this show is definitely relatable to the point where, like, if you've lived something like that, or if you've been experienced those kinds of people on the outside of a prison wall, you would never even think, oh yeah, I'm gonna go on this website and find me a little prison bae. Okay, like, it's just never gonna happen. Okay, watch this show if you want an example of who not to freaky date. Okay, so yeah, so Andrew ends up going to the financial advisor, and she's like, no, do not take another credit card. And he says okay. And then when he goes back home, he gets a call from Candace, and Candace is like pissed. Like, she is upset that he went to the financial freaking advisor. And she cusses him clean out and tells him, don't do anything like that again behind my back. You never told me anything about no financial advisor. Are you not telling me something? Right? And I'm like, ma'am, it's his money and he needs it now. Like, what do you mean he didn't tell you he's going to a financial advisor? And so this is what I mean by, like, she's raised on survival. So if she feels like there's something wrong with the money, if the money is funny, she gonna jump ship. The minute that he can't provide the lifestyle that he's clearly promised her anymore, she's out of there. Okay, it doesn't matter how long they've been on the damn phone for. It's only been a year and he's given her way too much. Like, you gotta ease into these things. You can't just be showing all your cards at once. And that's what he did. He's made promises to her and is taking out a 401k to provide it. That doesn't make any sense. Now, I think that the Louis Vuitton bag that he bought her was fake, because he was pulling the zipper out and the zipper and popped off in his hand. Like, the leather of the zipper, like, literally the latch popped off in his hand. And I said, that's not supposed to happen like that. Like, it literally, like, tore like bread. Okay, I was like, child, the bag is fake. Okay, he also decided he's gonna get in his truck and pack up all the things, because she's pretty much getting ready to come home in a couple days. So he's packing up all her things and his things to bring to the apartment that he found her in Nevada. And so he's packing up the truck, he's on the phone with her, and she's like, oh, I love the highway, I love the knickknacks on the side of the highway, like, bring me that stuff. So he goes and he's driving. First of all, he spent like $800 on gas from Jersey to Nevada. He spent all this money and then is going shopping for her on the way. Like, he didn't already spend thousands upon thousands of dollars to not only furnish the apartment, get the apartment, buy her stuff to have, so that as soon as she gets out, she has stuff, buying all her favorite snacks and everything under the damn sun. Okay, he provides, like, everything. Like, I was overwhelmed watching it. Like, oh my god, like, he gave her a lot of stuff, and I don't think that she appreciates it, because how are you gonna get mad at the man for going to the damn financial advisor? Like, that doesn't make any sense. You should be happy he's going to the financial advisor to make sure that he don't run out of money trying to provide for you, you know. But one of the things I did hear her say on the phone, which to me was a green flag, was that she said that as soon as she gets out, she would get a job. And he pretty much told her, oh, like, no. Now, that's a red flag for me, because this is where his red flag would be showing up as controlling, because a lot of times these men feel like as long as they're providing for you monetarily, that they have governance over you, right? They can tell you what to do, where to go, you know, they keep you in the house, whether you have kids or not, barefoot and pregnant, you know what I mean? They keep you in the house and, like, just you only can do what they say you can do. Even though he's given her some freedom because he's got her the car, right? He bought her a new truck. He's still gonna have some kind of control over her, because she's gonna have to constantly go to him for money, which is obviously what he wants, right? And so I'm seeing red flags all over. I'm not only seeing red flags in the inmates, I am also seeing red flags in the inmates' partners. And again, all I can chalk it up to is that everybody needs damn therapy. One of the other big red flags for this situation in particular is that Candace, on her profile when they first started dating, it stated that she was willing to relocate. But now that it's getting time for her to come out, she is kind of switching up the tone a bit, and she's like, I'm willing to relocate, but I really just want him to come to Nevada. And everybody can see he's a simp, so I can see that he's probably going to move to Nevada too. But it's like, that means that he would have to give up his warehouse job, which is providing for them right now. And so if he can't find another job in Nevada that's paying better or the same, that's secure, you know, then it really doesn't make sense for him to relocate to her. She should really be relocating to him, because he is the one that's footing the bill. But The reason that she's not relocating is because she does have a son from a previous marriage, and that son she does not have custody over, and so she wants to get some kind of legal custody over him while she's in Nevada, and she doesn't want to leave Nevada until that is sorted out, which I think is great for her, but at the same time requiring Mr. Joyzy to go back and forth, you know, is probably going to be a lot on their relationship. One of the other things that gagged me was that he said that there's a possibility that the board does not approve her to live at that address that he provided for her. So the apartment may be empty for a while. I said, are you dumb? Why wouldn't you wait till she got out and got a guarantee on the apartment before you put your money down on it? Because what if they say no, she can't live in that apartment? And I mean, I thought about it and I'm like, why would they say no to her, right? But you just don't know what the board is going to say. So if they say no, that she can't live in the apartment, he's wasted so much money. And he's filled it with furniture. Like, the bed showed up, the dresses, child, the couch. Like, he went to the furniture store and spent $2,500 on furniture for this house. I mean, it was very much a dumb move, and this is what I mean by the people make bad decision after bad decision. The financial advisor just told you, stop spending money, and you over here spending money. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you do that? Andrew's upset that Candace put on her profile that she's willing to relocate, but now that it's time to relocate, or that, you know, it's a possibility that she is going to drag out the custody issue with her son. The thing is, though, Andrew also has a son. So what is going to be the happy medium here? Like, is Andrew going to move to Nevada and then just not see his son frequently? But to me, it's like, if he was willing to drive that length to go and see this woman, then he should have no issue getting on a plane to fly from Nevada to Jersey to go spend time with his son when he's supposed to spend time with his son. The hot mess of the season, girl, is poor baby Ayana and Jamal. J name, red flag. Automatically, out the gate. J name, red flag. But girl, I don't even know where to begin with this couple. So this is Ayana. She has a cute little pixie cut. Oh, girl, now he 5'8", girl. And this is her 5'8" king, Jamal. When I looked at him, I said, no, ma'am. He's shorter than short. Ayana is 27. Ayana is a stripper. Ayana has 2 children. One is 2 years old, and the other is, I believe, 8. Personally, watching Ayana's scenes, it is painful for me. She's just somebody I'm gonna be praying for, like, for real. I'm not even joking. I'm just gonna be praying for Miss Ayana to get it together, to wake up. Child, she needs guidance. Like, she needs guidance. So what I found right out the gate, which was a big red flag for me, was that Ayana is indeed what I would classify as lazy. She initially wanted to be an anesthesiologist, and then when she realized it was going to take 12 years to become an anesthesiologist, she said, no, ma'am, that's not for me. Which is fair in a sense, okay? Because do I want to spend 12 years in school? No. There are so many other jobs out there outside of stripping. Like, stripping really shouldn't even be an option, okay? But I get it. Once she decided she didn't want to be an anesthesiologist because she's not going to go sit down in nobody's classroom for no 12 years. She was like, I want to be a lawyer. Well, baby, that's another long periodically time. So what do you think she said? She said, absolutely not going to be no lawyer because I ain't got the time and I like the fast money. And so the problem with the fast money is, as fast as it comes is as fast as it goes. And so when it comes and goes that fast and you don't have to really put in any hard work for it, you know, you just go on stage, shake your rump, like, you're gonna burn through it. You can say, which she stated, I wanted to be done stripping at 24, and here I am 3 years later still stripping. It's giving Mercedes from P-Valley. Like, they always have this is when I'm gonna clock out, this is when I'm gonna clock out, this, and it's just never enough, because unless they have like a serious like business mind, they can't seem to get out of the ensnarement of stripping. it is one of those lifestyles, just like drug dealing. It's one of those lifestyles that is hard to break out of because the money is so good. But it's really not, because if it was that damn good, you'd be able to establish yourself by now, right? So with Ayana, she claims she makes about $600 a night. $600 American is about $1,000 Canadian, and maybe even just a little over that or just a little under that, right? Like that's a good chunk of money per night. And it kind of makes you wonder, well, if you're making that much money a night, if she works, I don't know, 5 days out the week, that's $5,000 a week. To me, she should have been out the game. Now, if Ayana was wise, what she would do is while she's stripping, she would be in school for business so that she could curate something and make a plan for after stripping. She's not really spoken about what she wants to do outside of stripping, right? I don't think she knows because she's so lost. And when I watched the show, I'm like, I just feel for her because I'm just like, girl, you was lost. She is lost. She needs Jesus, child. She needs something, prayer, anointed girl, something. But she needs guidance real bad. Jamal is in jail for drug trafficking, and he's been in jail for the last 3 years. Now, how they met was because Jamal was dating Ayana's ex-bestie. I said, huh? So obviously they are no longer best friends because they all used to live together, and I guess Jamal was eyeing Ayana and Ayana was eyeing Jamal, and they decided after him and the girl broke up that they was going to be a thing because they were hanging out as friends and decided they liked each other. Shady boots? Absolutely. But that's not even the freaking kicker. The kicker is that in episode, I think 3 or 4, we find out that it's not just an ex-girlfriend. It's his baby mother, okay? And then here's the other kicker. It's not just his baby mama. It's his 4th baby mama. Huh? So you're telling me this man is in prison for drug trafficking. He has 6 children, 4 baby mothers. Ayana has 2 children, 2 different baby daddies as well. And I'm just looking at this whole thing like, this is a catastrophe. This is a mess. Like, there's no other word to describe it but a mess. If that's not the worst of it, because I tell you, when I found out that the ex-bestie was also one of his baby mothers, I was gagged. I'm like, you're dating your ex-best friend's baby father? Like, what? And you know that this man has 4 baby mothers and 6 kids, and you think you're just gonna be the wife and it's all just gonna be over with you? Girl, you are literally next in line to receive nothing from a man that's incarcerated. Like, do better for yourself. Like, this is insane. It's actually embarrassing to watch this storyline in particular on the show, because I was just sat beside myself. I was really beside myself when I found out that he had multiple baby mothers, multiple children, and she came up out of her mouth in that same scene to say that she's going to be the 5th baby mama and the last one. So she's already planning to give him another child. Out the gate, we find out that Ayana has a DUI charge and she's going to be going to jail. And so the DUI was because she had smoked, she got high, was speeding to work because she thought she was going to be late, and she got pulled over and they gave her a DUI. But it was her 2nd DUI, which means she cannot avoid the jail time. You have 2 children. You had no business getting no damn DUI. My whole thing is she keeps having this attitude about this DUI, like it's so dumb that she has to do jail time for this DUI, because they said that she has to do either 15 days plus 75 house arrest or 90 days in jail. And she obviously is not trying to do that because she has a 2-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old son. Being away from your kids because of a DUI is insane, right? And so she has this attitude, and she's like, she's not trying to do no jail time and blah, 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 blah. And she keeps saying that it's so stupid, but what's stupid is the fact that she was smoking and driving. Even in Canada, where the weed is legal all about, baby, you cannot smoke and drive. You get pulled over and you high, you're getting a ticket. I don't know if you'll get arrested. I don't know what the hell happened because I don't be smoking and driving. Okay, but you get the DUI. You cannot smoke and drive. It don't matter if you're in a state where it's legal to smoke You cannot do that, right? And so she's had already drug and alcohol counseling, and so her public defender is telling her like that's going to go far with the judge. But when she goes to sentencing, they're either going to tell her 15 days plus 75 or 90 period. And she's like, I cannot do no 90 days. I cannot do no 90 days. Well, you shouldn't have been smoking no damn weed. And so she has zero accountability in the situation. I can see it written all over her that she just is just entitled to, you know, behaving badly and not having to pay the consequences for it. But you can't do that. So pretty much, but that being said, you know, she is probably one of the worst cases on the show where it's like bad decision after bad decision, because if the situation with the man isn't enough, her own personal situation is so entirely a mess. So her mother was a teen mom, and she's gorgeous, by the way. They're both gorgeous. Her mother was a teen mom that had 2 kids, and she made it work, right? But then Ayanna got pregnant when she was 17, and so her son is actually 9, not 8. She had her son very young, and he ended up, you know, being raised by the grandma, right? By Ayanna's mother. And, you know, she was going on and on about how her son loves her and, you know, she loves him. But it just, you know, over time, it just made more sense that he just continued to live with grandma instead of coming to live with her. So she lives with her 2-year-old, but not her 9-year-old. And I thought to myself, you know, on the surface, maybe, of course he loves his mom, but he probably is going to grow to resent her because why your 2-year-old gets to live with you and I don't, you know? Even though she goes to see him and blah, 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 like, it's still such an unfortunate situation. And so the 9-year-old lives with grandma full time. That's where their comfort's at. But now that Ayanna is facing jail and she is going regardless, she doesn't know though yet if it's going to be 15 or 90. So because of that, she goes over to her mom's house and is asking her mom if she could take the baby as well. Now, obviously her mom's not going to tell her, no, I can't take the baby. But her mom sat there and said to her, baby girl, when are you going to get your life together? This girl had the audacity to say that her life is together. I said, girl, where? It is a royal mess. Like, I sat there and I started listing off the things in my head, like everything that was wrong in her personal situation. And I'm like, in what world, what country, what atmosphere is her life together? And she was very condescending and dismissive to her mother, who is trying to give her wisdom. Like, you already had a DUI. Why do you have a second DUI now? Because the first one was enough. Now you are facing jail time. And her mom tried to explain to her too, you're not on your own, baby. You have 2 little ones, okay? Regardless if one lives with you or not, you got 2 little ones to take care of, and you cannot just be out here living your life like it's not going to affect the people around you. Because who told her mom got time to add another baby to the schedule, you know? And then to uproot her child to go stay at her mom's, like, it's just an inconvenience. And then on top of that, she doesn't have a legitimate job, right? Because she strips. So it's like, how are you going to sit there and say that your life is together when you, in the very first episode, said that you were supposed to be done stripping by 24? That's the timeline she gave herself. And she said, I'm still stuck here 3 years later. That's because Ayanna is not learning from her mistakes. She's repeating the same mistakes and also adopting new bad behaviors. So she's gonna be stuck. That's just how it goes, you know? If you repeat the same things over and over and over again, baby, that's insanity. So I don't know if she's expecting a different result when she's doing things over and over again, but she's definitely not learning, and she has this arrogance about her that is off-putting. This whole situation is just rooted in red flags. Now, aside from having DUI charges, she also has assault charges because Jamal's baby mama, aka her ex-best friend, was upset with her about dating Jamal, and so she popped Ayanna's tires on her car, and Ayanna whoops her, and then she caught a charge that way. And so her record doesn't look good, you know, in court. And so pretty much her public defender is trying to find a way to make things look better with the judge. So what she does is she tells Ayanna, or he tells Ayanna, actually, I think it's a male. He tells her that she needs to, like, go to anger management, and this is a form of therapy so that she can present better at court. In therapy, she pretty much tells the therapist that, you know, she has a lot of daddy issues. He wasn't there for her. She's trying to fill that void. And so this is where I have a problem, because if you know that you have these issues and you are clearly stating that these issues with whatever issues she has where the father-daughter relationship is concerned has trickled into the relationship she has with men, but has not done the work to correct that in herself so that she's not attracting certain kind of men or dating people that are bad for her, trying to fill that void. Like, it's like, how do we feel bad for her? You know what I mean? Because she knows that she's not with the right people. She knows Jamal's no good for her. 4 baby mamas, 6 kids, and she is so delusional. Every 5 minutes she's trying to get reassurance from Jamal that he's gonna marry her, and she's like, period this, period that. Girl, no. Just no. It's so crazy and sad to watch, and she actually upsets me while I'm watching the show. I'm like, no, please. I'm like screaming at my iPad like, girl, no. Yeah, Ayana's self-esteem is really, really low. Like, it's like the bar is in hell, Ayana's self-esteem is in hell, the relationship is in hell. Okay, and I need my sis to get free. Now, I think the thing that really solidified the yes, she a bird for me was when she said that Jamal is putting the pieces back together for her. He's picking up the pieces to her life. I said, ma'am, he's doing a prison sentence for drug trafficking. He can't even pick up the pieces in his own life. How the hell is he picking up the pieces in your life? Like, and she is so convinced that she is going to be a wife, and gagged by the end of the 4th episode because his mother and his sisters, who are all studs, by the way, gagged me. I'm like, is this normal? They pretty much had Ayana find out that Jamal has been married before. Ayana thought she was going to be wifey number 1. No, ma'am. He is of the Islamic faith, okay? And so he pretty much ends up dropping the bombshell on her that she is wife number 2 because he's been married previously. And so she's pissed because she's like, you never told me this. I asked you straight up if you've been married legally or married via Islam. And he's like, I told you. And she's like, no, you didn't tell me nothing about you've been married before through your religion and yada yada yada. And he's like, you cannot date in my religion. And so then she said, well, who were you married to? And he drops one of the baby mama's names. Then she's super pissed because he's cool with the baby mama, but it's like, it's his baby mom's. Like, shouldn't he be cool with her? Isn't that better for you? Like, it's always better if the mama and the daddy are cool. Like, hello, it's always gonna be better. So I don't know what she's pissed off about, but like, I guess she has her trust issues, right? So she's not comfortable with the fact that he's cool with this baby mother that he was married to, and she thought she was gonna be the first wife. Maybe she's gonna be the second wife, maybe. Then she's also upset that she's just also finding out that after like 2 years is when he is trying to marry her. He's not trying to marry her as soon as he gets out, which was unbeknownst to her. And so she's very immature, you know, she's very much not realistic. And even her friend Sexy Lexi from the strip club, who I'm still trying to figure out, is she black or white? Girl, I don't know if she's light skinned or white. I'm leaning more towards white, but like, she's probably just really fair skinned. But like, even Lexi has some damn sense, and she's like, Ayana's delusional. Like, she's actually delusional. And I'm like, yeah, she's delusional. So maybe Lexi can, you know, guide her friend child, but girl, Ayana's giving lost cause. Okay, so next on the docket, baby, we have a gay couple, and so this is Joey and Michael. Okay, child, one thing everybody knows is 2 people that have been on crack or otherwise should not be dating. Okay, 2 drug addicts, 2 any kind of alcohol, like they should not be together because it's a recipe for disaster. Joey's situation is a little unique because he went through majority of his adult life posing as a straight man. Okay, so he came out at 30. He also stated that he is indeed a bottom and that Michael is a top. Joey lives at home for the last 10 years with his parents because he was in a depressed state and he's had addiction issues, and you know, it's just been bad news bears for him. And so he doesn't really want to be living with his parents, but that's just the situation he's in, and that's what it's going to be for now. He met his man 6 years ago on Grindr, and they hooked up, they had their fun, and then they reconnected about, I think, 6 months ago. Now, Michael's supposed to get out in 6 to 8 months, but he's gonna gag Joey and tell him the truth, probably maybe the next episode or so, but he may be facing another 6 years, which Joey was definitely not prepared for. He thought that he was gonna get his man in 6 to 8 months, and it's not giving that for Michael, who's locked up. Michael has had partners in the prison. I don't know how Joey is processing this and how he's comfortable with that, because I don't want to know that. I don't want to know that you have been in jail knocking boots, and jails are full of diseases, okay? And then you could finna come out here and knock whose boots too, Chad? No, ma'am. No, sir. No, thank you. I don't think so. But hey, if Joey like it, I love it. They don't have any photos together because the time that they met and they were hanging out and hooking up and stuff, they never took any photos together because they were not really dating. They were just hooking up. The jail or the prison that Michael is at does not allow you to have, I guess, visitors if you cannot prove that you knew each other outside of the prison, which, to be fair, they did know each other outside of the prison. So because they have no photos together, it's going to be hard for them to prove that they knew each other outside of that, which means he may not be able to get an in-person visit. And so they decided that they're going to Photoshop. This made no sense to me because everybody knows that the jail calls are recorded, which brings me back to Ayanna and what's his name? Jamal, because the calls are recorded and you're not supposed to do any kind of lewd activities, you know, no showing of any parts. But Ayanna still went forth and did that, was making her booty clap on the video call and showing her boot, like it was a lot. And I'm just like, guidance is needed, okay? We need a guidance counselor immediately. But that's neither here nor there. Joey wants to Photoshop the picture, and so Michael is very nonchalant about it. But Michael is a career criminal. He's been in and out of the system for the last 15 years, and they are 46 and 40. So Joey is 6 years older than Michael, and Michael, he feels like Joey is good guidance for him. He feels like he's mature and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not getting that energy from Joey at all. Joey is very much, I live at my parents' house. I'm too old to be there, but I'm going to be there anyway. And he's very childish in nature. Mike was asking for stuff, explicit stuff. He was like, pull it out, like that vibe. And he was like, Joey was like, my parents are in the other room. Like, he's very teenage boy. I think that Joey is a good example of what I don't want to say a narcissistic abuse victim looks like, because what does that look like? It could be anybody, right? But like, definitely what codependency looks like, but also that has low self-esteem and is desperate for validation might look like. And you know, whether you know it or not, right? There's definitely a power dynamic here, and all of the relationships have the power dynamic where I could probably whip out the power and control wheel and we will see a lot of their relationships on there, because there's so much of the person in prison having this certain hold or this power over the person that they're dating. Joey is doing things that he wouldn't normally do. Like, he's scared to Photoshop the photo because you're probably not supposed to do that, right? And so he's asking Mike, and Mike is like brushing it off like, oh, it'll be fine. But like, I don't think so. Joey states that he has done things with Michael that he's not proud of. And so this piqued my interest because I am interested to know what exactly did Michael have this man doing when he was on the outside 6 years ago when they were hanging out in person. Or maybe it was 5 months ago when Joey relapsed, which is a huge red flag. And this is why I started with two addicts have no business dating each other. Now, Joey stated that his addiction issues, which are definitely hereditary, started when he was in his teens. I think he said he was 15 when he started drinking. And the reason that he liked to drink was because when he drank, he didn't feel weird anymore, right? Weird as in gay. And so he drank to cover or mask his gayness. When he did that, it obviously turned into alcoholism. And so his family members, I believe his father was an alcoholic as well, but is sober now, and his brother also struggled with alcoholism. So they are all recovering addicts, right? They're all in recovery in terms of alcoholism. But Joey took it a step further after a while and started dabbling with meth and stuff. And so 5 months ago, he relapsed when Mike was on the outside and they were doing stuff with needles. Unfortunately for Joey, his sister ratted him out at the dinner party when Mike was meeting all of the family members. I don't really know why she said it, but she did and let everybody know. And so the father was pissed. He's like, that is very upsetting for him to know that, you know, he's with somebody that would even lead him down that path again. Because what is the likelihood that it won't happen again? You know what I mean? Like, if they're both together and he's so easily influenced at 46, you know, this could be a path of destruction. And so one thing that Joey's dad said, which I completely agree with, is that Mike is giving a con man. And he didn't really say Mike. He was just talking about, you know, prison people in general, because they got the lyrics, baby. They will say whatever they gotta say to ensnare their victim, you know, their supply, right? And it doesn't have to be narcissistic supply, because it could just be any person that they can latch onto to better their life, or that they can use for something. The people that are in prison for whatever crimes that they're in prison for, they had to have been lacking a certain, you know, conscience as to why they're there, right? Unless they're there because they were falsely accused, or if it was like just, you know, bad decision, wrong place, wrong time, made a mistake, would never do it again vibe, you know, unless it's that kind of situation. But when you're dealing with a career criminal like Michael, you have to know that a con man gon' con every single time, and you hope that it's not gonna be you that they con next, but chances are they already have their escape plan. They already know, you know, what to say to you to get you to do what they want you to do. Because how he have him photoshopping this damn photo, and then he sends the photo to the sergeant so that he can get the visitation. When he tells Michael's like, what photo? And then after that casually says, oh yeah, that Photoshop is so bad, I was hoping you didn't send it. Huh? I said, no, man. And then when they showed the Photoshop, I said, oh, shoot. I was hoping he didn't send it either, but he sent that photo. And I'm like, sir, you couldn't see that the Photoshop was horrible. Like, I hope that was fake, because if that gets approved, I will be surprised. He was like, Michael was like, hopefully they don't pay too much attention to it. And I was like, yeah, because you are not going to be able to get not even a video call after they see that y'all was photoshopping photos. Like, he could have done a way better job. I think he was eager and like really wanted to, you know, get it done. It was essentially his idea, right? And so a lot of the time in those kind of codependent relationships, you will see that where the person that is deemed the innocent one in the relationship will start to adopt certain ways. It's really a spirit, okay? We're not gonna talk about that today. They'll start to adopt the bad behaviors, and it's almost like a way to try to impress the bad influence, right? Like, it's almost like Keeping Up with the Joneses, but in the worst way possible. And it's like, you don't take it to the far extreme where, you know, he then starts to become a career criminal. But a lot of the time, if you're with somebody that has that kind of spirit on them, they just transfer that spirit to you, baby, and then you start doing the stuff that they would do, you know. And so you really need to go to therapy to untwine that. I mean, good luck to them. And then there's two more couples that I'm going to cover right now, which is Shanta and True is the first one. So this is Shanta, and baby, True is a lie. Okay, True is a lie. Okay, let me tell you about True and Shanta. Okay, so Shanta and True are engaged. They have never met in person. I guess she asked him like what he's excited for, like when he finally gets out, and he starts talking about having sex 7 days straight, no breaks, nothing, just boom, 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 boom. Okay, and I'm just like, that's what's on your mind, sir? How about get a job? Okay, like the first, you talking about 7 days straight of sex, you need to be doing 7 days straight of Indeed. Okay, like let's keep it a buck. Okay, keep it a stack, keep it a bean. 7 days straight of Indeed. Okay, you don't need to be worrying about your pee-pee, sir. So I was like, red flag immediately. The other red flag, which her family is concerned about, is the fact that this man, Mr. True, does not date black women. He has only dated Caucasian women, and now all of a sudden he's with this lady because she's giving him something that he requires, which is money, time, lots of affection. You know, she's a great supply for him. And so her niece is concerned, like, or her cousin, I can't remember what it was, that this guy's not being as true as his name says he is. And so he's been in prison for 12 and a half years. Robbery in the first degree, resisting/interfering with arrest, theft, stealing, burglary in the second degree. I think the robbery in the first degree is why he got the 12 years, but that's his rap sheet right there. She is 35 and he is 31. What we already know about younger men, or sorry, men that are even your age, is that maturity does not come with the age and wisdom does not come with the age. And so she's already dating down. So like a 31-year-old man very much operates like a 20-something-year-old. Like when I look at him in prison, I'm like, he's giving 21. And she's actually giving me 43. I thought she was 40-something, girl, but she's only 35. They have, like I said, never met in person. She met him through her brother, her brother-in-law. I think it was her actual brother. And then the way that True made it seem was that Shanta wanted him out of the blue. Like, he made it seem like she was feeling him for some reason and wanted to talk to him. Like, she was like, he was on the phone with her brother or whatever, and she was like, tell him I said what's up. And then all of a sudden she was trying to be with him. That's how he made it seem. Whereas she was saying that when she first saw a picture of him, she was like, absolutely the freak not. And then he told somebody to show her this other picture, and then she was like, I can work with that. No, Jimmy. Okay, she was like, I can work with that. Already we have blurred lines and confusion as to who was attracted to who first, or who reached out to who. Girl, we blurred lines. Okay, and so based on the fact that he's only dated white women, I'm gonna have to go with his version of events, that she was trying to holler at him. Which, baby, I don't know what would make any woman be like, yeah, I want that nigga in prison. Like, it's too many niggas out here in the streets for you to be saying, I want prison bae. Now, the best part of that is probably the fact that you ain't gotta share your bed, okay? You ain't gotta share your bed, okay? Because, child, when I was newly single and my bed was sprawling and I had all the space on bed, baby, I had snacks in there. Girl, I was eating the hot Cheetos. Not hot Cheetos. I was eating the jalapeno Cheetos, which I actually miss. But, yeah. So, like, the not sharing your bed part is probably the best part of dating somebody that's in prison. And the fact that you don't have to call them, they always are going to be the ones calling you. But God forbid you miss the phone call, child. It's going to be hell to pay. Shanta is one of the other women that definitely need a little bit more prayer and more guidance, because she stated in her confessional that she battles with whether God sent her this man or the devil sent her this man. And I sat there and said, baby, God is not going to send you no man in jail now. He's not. God is not sending you no man in jail. Matter of fact, if you had to go out of your way to contact this man to even get the relationship started, it's not from God. She don't need to battle it no more. She just needs to watch this video. He's not from God. I'm sorry. He's not. Like, God's not sending you no man that's been in jail for 12 and a half years. Why would he do that? And he's also not going to send you a man that's going to put you in a worse financial ruin than you were already in. Because what did Shanta do? Shanta uprooted her life. Okay, she has a family, and she uprooted the life from, where was she from? And moved to Missouri. And you know what she did? And all because she wanted to be closer to the inmate that she ain't never met. So it's not like she like moved to Missouri and then went and saw him in prison. She's still not been to see him. So I'm kind of confused why she would even bother with what she did, because she took out a second mortgage to pull this off. And I'm like, at what point do you sit and reevaluate and be like, this is a horrible financial decision. I don't think that this is God-led, okay? Like, if you're going to sit there and say, like, you're not sure if it's God or the devil that sent you a man, look at all of the obstacles in your way, okay? That you brought onto yourself, because I promise you, if God brings a man into your life, he's not going to bring a man that's going to create debt for you or put you in a position where debt is created, okay? Trust me, I know, okay? Like, no. If you, take it from me, baby, if you get with a man and all of a sudden you're homeless, God didn't send him. God didn't say that. Is straight up nasty devilish work, okay? God did not say. If you get with a man and you decide you're going to pick up and move to another freaking state, country, whatever, and you have to take out a second mortgage to do it, and you don't even know how you're paying for the first mortgage, that is the devil sucking your resources away from you. Like, you got to use your discernment, baby. And so I'm watching the show and I'm just like, this is another person I got to add to my prayer list, because she not getting it right. We need my good sis to be delivered immediately, because not only did she have that issue, but she sent him photos, and the photos got sent back to her, and she's been sending him photos for however many years or however long, and nothing has ever been sent back to her. And so she called the jail, and the jail was like, the only reason that photos would get sent back was because he received explicit photos, inappropriate photos, or he was in solitary confinement. Now she knows he's not in solitary confinement because she's been talking to him on the phone every day. So the only other thing would be that somebody sent him photos. Now she confronted him about this, and true was a lie, and acted like he was confused and didn't know what was wrong, but then ended up admitting something. I can't even remember what he said, because it didn't even make any damn sense. Either way, he's a lie. Okay, he got the wrong damn name. So there's that. But what gagged me was that the man that says, you know, he only dates white women, has the audacity to consider Shanta and her daughter and her nieces and her family ghetto and ratchet. Like, he's not doing a whole 12.5 year bid. Who's ghetto and ratchet, sir? Like, I can't. The self-hating is crazy. Because when you mean they're ghetto and ratchet, what makes them ghetto and ratchet? And so one of the other red flags in this relationship is that he is trying to compete with her behind the jail cell, and she doesn't see that this is just bad news bears, because she is a chef and she wants to go into business with him, like when he comes out, and like open a restaurant with him. And I'm like, girl, you are already paying 2 mortgages. You have not got your second house sold yet in Kansas. And well, I mean, she's just not in Kansas anymore. Like, she's not. She just click them damn heels together, baby, and say, I want to go home. Okay, she needs to go home to Kansas, because Missouri ain't it. Missouri is giving misery. Okay, say Move to Missouri. Misery. Okay. That's what it's giving. And again, I say she's not met the man. She's not met him. So it's like, why are you doing all this? It's a cold day in hell before a man gets me to move to wherever he at. And I can't even see him, first of all, because he's locked up. And I had to take out a second mortgage to do it. And I got to put money on his books. Child, no. The money on... Ooh. Yeah, one of the major things that gags me is the fact that you got to put money on the books and money on the books and money on the books. Like, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I couldn't. Okay? Like, no. One thing about it is all of the prisoners have this attitude when they don't get the money put on their books. And so going back to Ayanna, she's like how if she got to go to jail for 2 weeks, you know, usually she puts $100 a week on Jamal's books. She's going to put $200 because she's trying to manifest only going away for 15 days instead of the 90. She's like, I feel like if I say 90, it's going to be 90. So I'm just going to keep saying 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Now we're going to find out in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, but pretty much she has to constantly be giving this man money, and everybody is in that same boat. Everybody is giving their significant other money on their books, you know. Ain't nobody dating no kingpin in there that still got stuff moving in the streets and they're like, I don't send my man money, he send me money. There's not one of those people on this show. Okay, everybody is sending their person money, and I'm just like, could not be me. And so this brings me to the final couple of the day, which is Rick and Samantha. These two really seem like the most normal to me on the show. I feel like their relationship is not so crazy, only because they're both older, right? So we have Rick, who is 58, and we have Samantha, who is 56. They're both recovering alcoholics. So again, that's the biggest red flag here for me. I feel like they probably shouldn't necessarily be together because his, you know, stint with alcohol was just 2 years ago, whereas hers has been a lifelong journey. She's kind of living in like a halfway house. Now, he's always had a thing for her. They went to like high school together. They've known each other since like middle school. And Rick was a ladies' man. He was a jock, and the girls are still loving him to this day. And so we definitely get the jealous vibe from Samantha because Rick did go to a high school reunion. And at the high school reunion, there was 2 other women that said that they love him, pretty much were like in love with him and would date him. But then they found out that he is engaged to Samantha. Now Samantha was pissed off that he didn't come to the party and was like, hey, I'm engaged to Samantha now. Like, she was pissed off about this and feeling, I guess, insecure. And, you know, she didn't want nobody around her man. I guess because she's locked up and couldn't be there with him. But at the end of the day, it was a little ridiculous how she was acting. Granted, the women were all over him, so maybe not. I think he looks good for his age. At 58, most people is looking like spoiled milk, especially because he had addiction issues. You know, he don't look too bad now. But I think that they are the most like normal couple. He's somebody else that's constantly putting money on you know, her books. To me, I feel like they just like a happy old couple. And I mean, Rick proposed to Samantha at one of their jail visits, and so I think they're really into each other, and to me have the most normal dynamic. There's not a lot of baggage there because Rick doesn't have any children of his own. I think Samantha does have children because I remember her mentioning her grandchildren who she has to be there for in Idaho. But Rick doesn't have any responsibilities, so he's kind of flexible as to where he can go. He has his 2 nieces. They're older, but one of them is a correctional officer, and she's like how she sees all the emails. He's like, you guys read those? She's like, yeah, we see everything. She'll have inmates that have wives and are talking to their wives, but then are also talking to another person, and they're reading all the correspondence. So she was kind of weary about that. And like his nieces were crying because they're really concerned. They didn't know that he was sending Samantha money, and so they're not the biggest fans of him dating somebody that's, you know, in like a halfway house or a prison, but it's really none of their damn business. I think they just don't want their uncle to be taken advantage of because he seems like a good guy, you know. That's really pretty much it. To me, I think out of all the couples, they'll probably be the most boring and least dramatic of the season and are probably mostly going to be focused on their relationship and their love. They're not going to give us a lot of he said, she said. That's probably because they're close to 60. They ain't got time for foolishness, okay? I feel like if you're that age and decide you're going to, you know, spin the block on an old flame, you know, because it's not like he didn't know her as a person, and she's in the halfway house thing for a felony DUI. So that's why she's in the halfway house. She's not a thief, you know. She has an alcohol addiction, which can rule your life. Any kind of addiction can rule your life. It's a disease. So because of that, you know, she's a recovering addict, and hopefully on the outside they can help each other and not hurt each other where alcohol is concerned. And that's really everybody's concern where they're concerned. Like his nieces, that's what they're concerned about, because, you know, two addicts should not really be together. That's how enabling happens. You're not Princess Peach. Go away, Nola. You're not Princess Peach. Okay, so Princess Peach, go away. So this is Rick.
Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too, but you need to go away, Princess Peach.
Why? Because I need to eat dinner.
Yes. Go find Mario and Luigi. Go find Mario and Luigi.
I don't know where they are.
Well, you're Princess Peach. You should. Okay, I'm gonna call Bowser to come and get you.
No.
Yes, Bowser.
I'm
No.
not.
Bowser, take Princess Peach to your castle, please.
No.
Don't come over here.
I got you.
Bye, Princess Peach. Bye, Bowser.
I did not do that. You're coming with me, Princess Peach. No.
Is Grandma making macaroni?
Yeah.
Okay, watch the fingers. Watch the fingers. So yeah, pretty much all the couples except for those two have quite a bit of baggage, and I'm interested to see how it's gonna play out for the season. I am tapped in, okay? I would have broke out the iPad for this recap, but because I was doing 4 episodes, I'm like, I cannot, especially because I'm using Broken Silence to watch, right? And so if you want to watch the episodes, I'll have them linked in the description box so you can watch the show for yourself and see all the stuff that I was talking about. But for the next episode, I will definitely bring out the iPad so you guys can see in real time the stuff that I am talking about, okay? Let me know in the comment section below if you have been watching the show and how you feel about each of the couples. Tell me if you never heard of the show before, like me, and I don't even think it's that I never heard of it, because I know that there's love after Lockup, but I never heard of love during Lockup, which is obviously the same family. So this is my first time watching the show. This is, I think, the 5th season or the 6th season. Yeah, I'm interested to see where the couples end up. If I had to rank most problematic or most red flags to least red flags, I would say that Teenie and Rob are like most red flags. Then Jamal and Ayana. Then Joey and Michael. Then Shanta and True. And then Rick and Samantha. I think that would be my ranking for like most red flags to least red flags. Teenie and Rob are very much neck and neck with Jamal and Ayana. Okay, the red flags are red flagging. Black people, please do better. Okay, please don't sign up for this show. Okay, we need to, I don't know what kind of love shows we need. We need more of the Ready to Love vibe and the Married at First Sight Black Edition child, Bachelor Black Edition. Girl, we need more shows like that, okay? This a mess. But this is not a black show, so, but yeah. that's pretty much it for this video. I love you all so much, and I'll definitely see you in the next one. Oh, and if you're wondering what that beeping noise is, it's my little backup generator. I don't know how to turn the damn volume off, but I'm gonna figure it out, okay?